Hey, what's going on, good people? Welcome to Russ Can Fly. This is exciting. A little nervous, but exciting. I'm flying to South Carolina, Charleston International Airport in South Carolina.
Oh my goodness!
Russ can fly.
Okay, so this is a really exciting flight and it's gonna be an absolute adventure. So as many of you remember, I told you I was gonna be making a pivot in my instrument training, and I have made that pivot, and I am going to do the accelerated course called IFR6 in South Carolina. Now the flight program, IFR6, is a 6-day program. It's extremely accelerated, and you fly all day long, both either in a sim or in the airplane. It's 9 to 5. It is full on, same instructor, and then on the 7th day or the 6th day, you do your check ride. Believe it or not, as I film this video, my check ride is already scheduled. I already know the day of my check ride, and it's crazy, but awesome. And see, this is exactly what I need at this time. Now, let me be clear. I wouldn't have done this program had I not trained with Vanessa and Keith first. They gave me an excellent and extremely solid foundation for me to even contemplate something like this. Now, I'm gonna figure out how to present this program to you because I wanna do something every day. So I don't know if I'm gonna make each day an upload Friday or if I'm going to basically just do all 6 days and do it in one long video. But suffice to say, I'm gonna give you my take on what I think about this accelerated program. I will tell you right now, I love it even as I sit here, only because I have clarity in terms of what's going to happen when. And that is something that I definitely needed because it was just so iffy with the weather and availability and all that kind of stuff. With this program, I don't have that issue. I have a flight instructor that's dedicated to me for 6 days, and if we can't fly because of the weather, they have a Red Bird simulator, you know, like one of those full-on, you know, FAA approved simulators, and we can do stuff in there. So no time is wasted, and that's exactly what I need right now. So I'm gonna break down everything, but first I gotta get there. So let's just enjoy this flight. I'm gonna do a fuel stop in North Carolina, and then we're gonna push on into Charleston International. So enough talking, let's get this plane out, let's get everything stored, and let's get wheels up. All right, so I'm in the airplane. Gotta do all my checklist stuff to get ready. And it's funny because, you know, I think this is going to be my furthest solo flight. I've flown Charlie from Texas, but that was with an instructor. So I think this is gonna be my longest flight, you know, by myself. A little nervous, but you know, I have been planning for the better part of a week, if not more, for this flight. And so I've got all my flight planning stuff done, so we are ready to go. So the first thing I want to do on my checklist is the most important part, so let me get to that first. Father God, I thank you for this day. I thank you for being such a kind, loving, and amazing God. Father God, you are the great I am. You are the beginning and the end. You are Alpha and Omega. I'm just a man. I'm not perfect, Lord, but I thank you for forgiveness of my sins, both omission and commission, the ones that I've done purposefully and the ones I've done by accident. I ask that you continue to bless me and my family. Today, Lord, I ask for traveling mercies. I ask that you keep me safe, Father. Keep the plane in good mechanical working order. keep me in good mechanical working order. And whatever I do or say, and whoever I run into, may they see you when they look at me. All that I do is for your glory, Father. It's in your Son Jesus' name that I pray, thanking you for all that you've done for me. In his name I pray. Amen. All right, so I am going to get to the business at hand. And so I'll get on the other side of that and we'll get on out of here. Clear prop. Okay, so everything is looking good. Oil temp is already coming up. All right, so very good. All right, so I want to go up to 6,500 feet. That is going to be our cruising altitude. And one of the things I need to do is get the flight plan in. And so I already have it on my ForeFlight. So just going to get it into my actual nav. All right, so let's see. I've already got it in ForeFlight here. All right, so we've got Doylestown to Pottstown. That allow me to go around some Class Bravo, like Chester County to Dover. And the reason why I'm doing this is I'm staying away from some Bravo and some of the airspaces around some of these MOAs and restricted areas. That's the one thing I've always been intimidated by flying south, is some of that, all of those restricted areas and I mean, there's so much military stuff going on. It's absolutely nuts. And then Kilo Mike Zulu, Martin County. So Martin County is where I'm going to end up, and that's going to where my fuel stop is going to be. All right, so let me just check everything is okay here. Doylestown, Pottstown, Chester County, Dover, Salisbury, Ocean City, Accomack. Remember, we went to Accomack, and then Martin County. And that was one of the reasons why I went to Accomack, just to kind of, make sure I had that in there. So now, even though I don't need to do that yet, I'm going to go ahead and put Martin County in Williamston, North Carolina. I'm going to put that stuff in here now while I'm thinking of it. 11865, 11865. I just like to be as ahead as possible. So that's the AWAS and the Unicom 122.8, 22.8. All right, so we've got our flight plan in, and we are good to go. And first thing I'm going to do is a brake test, and you can see I'm just creeping forward. Just pull the brake. Brakes are good. All right, we can taxi on out to runway 23. Now, one of the other checks I'm going to do is, as I am taxiing, I'm going to watch my compass, my heading indicator, and my turn coordinator to make sure that everything is moving properly. This is 2.5 hour flight from Doylestown to Williamston, North Carolina. I'll take a fuel stop there, maybe even grab a little quick bite to eat, and then continue on into Charleston International, where I'll be taking IFR6. Pre-takeoff, flaps is required, mixture is full rich, fuel pump is going to come on, landing light is going to come on, doors, windows are locked, transponder is where I want it to be, lights as required, and max cross when we are good. All right, so they are going around, and don't hear anybody else on final, and the field is clear. We are good to go. Doylestown traffic, Cherokee 1541 Charlie, departing runway 23 out to the west, Doylestown. All right, so let's turn, line her up with the runway. Wind is coming straight down the pike. Okay, I see 23, 23, 23. All right, heels to the floor, full power. All right, engine instruments in the green.
oil pressure, fuel pressure, all look good. Airspeed is alive, and we're just gonna let her come on up. And we're gonna go over to 250. That's the noise abatement. All right, takeoff. Landing light can come off. Fuel pump can go off. And we're just gonna climb on out. That was a nice smooth, that was one of my smoothest takeoffs in a long time. So we're climbing out at 1,000. All right, let's get this nose, there we go. Get that nose down. Climb out at VY. And let's see what we got here. Just looking for any traffic. And it's gonna be a little cloudy. So we're gonna have to maybe stay a little lower for a little bit till we can get past these clouds, because they're not everywhere. And they're definitely not to the south. All right, so everything is looking good. Fuel pressure, oil pressure, all looking good. On my way to North Carolina. I can't believe it. It's actually very crazy. All right, so we're at 2,000, climbing on out very nicely. Kind of quiet out today. I mean, it is. So I'm flying middle of the week. So my week at IFR6 starts tomorrow, Thursday, April 2nd. And so I'm dating this flight so that you can know when this is happening. So it is Wednesday, April 1st. April Fool's Day. Alright, so we're up to 3,000 about. Smoothing out. Got some turbulence. But it feels pretty good. No real complaints. As you can see, it's spitting a little bit.
Counter traffic, anybody in the pattern?
That's okay. And so maybe I'll stay at 4 or 5. We'll see. But yeah, this little bit of spritzing that you see, and I am paying attention to make sure that no icing is taking place. So the water looks like it's running pretty good, but I definitely will be paying attention to that for sure. I don't see any air mets or any NOTAMs about icing, but I definitely will be paying attention. And if I see anything, like if any of this rain, you know, stops moving, then I'll know, all right, it's time to come on down and get to some warmer air. And it's interesting because that's all of the things that I need to be cognizant of as I do instrument flight trainings and instrument flights, because now it'll be on me. Now, here's what's crazy. I am leaving Doylestown as a private pilot. When I come back to Doylestown, good Lord willing, I will be coming back as a private pilot with an instrument rating. I mean, come on, y'all. How cool is that? I am so excited about that. I think for now, what I am going to do, I'm going to stay at 4,500 for now, just so I can stay beneath a lot of those clouds I see up there. All right, so I'm going to stay here at 4.5 for now. And as you can see, I'm really running into some rain. I see it running on the wing out there, just making sure that nothing is icing up, baby. And it's light. I mean, I can see the ground pretty good, so I'm not too concerned at all. And for now, I'm just going to continue to hand fly this flight. So my first waypoint is Pottstown, and again, I'm just going around some of this, some of the Bravo, trying to make sure I don't get into any of that stuff. So IFR6. So how did I land on that particular program? So I saw 2 or 3 when I looked at accelerated programs for instrument. And actually they have one for commercial too, which I don't want to get ahead of my skis. But that sounds interesting as well. But at any rate, basically I found 2 that were interesting. One was a 10-day program, and I believe that one was based down in Mississippi. The other one was another 6-day program. I can't remember where that one was, but for some reason this one kind of stood out to me, and I reached out to them and I said, listen, my written exam expires April 24th. If I sign up, what is the earliest date you have for, for this 6-day training? And so she unfortunately started talking about April and Easter, and I just thought, oh Lord. But I am clear that I don't think it's a problem for me to go and do something for a time, right? But as long as I come back. And I gotta give a shout out to my wife, my altitude. She has been so extremely supportive of this whole endeavor, including my being gone for basically 7 days to do this, right? Because she knows how much it means to me. And so I definitely just consider her such a huge blessing and thankful that she's in my life and she understands how important this is to me. And I am just so very thankful. And so I chose IFR6 because they were very responsive. They got me in, and here is the key. I needed to have clarity in terms of how I was going to get from flight training to check ride given my time limitation. Now, that's something that was poor planning on my part. I shouldn't have done that. I should have started my flight training earlier, but I didn't understand all the things that were going to happen, including like the bird strike and the wing repair. I couldn't have anticipated that, right? But I really just was feeling dialed in, and I just didn't want to feel like I was going to have to take the written again. I just felt absolutely compelled to get this done. I've done the work. I have not rushed this. I have built a very solid training foundation with 2 amazing flight instructors. I just needed a way to be on a very specific path, given the fact that I'm still working, I'm still engaged professionally in full-time employment. So I needed a snapshot in time where I could say, okay, this is what's happening, this is how it's going to happen, this is the plan. And it was hard to do that, and I can't begrudge any of the flight instructors because they have lives, right? They're not beholden to me. But to be honest, I needed them to be, right? That's the whole point. And that's the thing about the accelerator programs. These folks are beholden to you. So I have one trainer, one flight instructor, the whole 6 days, and we start at 9 and we end at 5. And it's every day for the 6 days with this instructor. And like I said before, they have a Redbird there. Now, I've never been in one of those, but I've seen them, and I see the ones, and you can see here's some pictures I posted up here. Here's what their simulators look like. So even if we can't train on a given day, I can still do some work to move towards proficiency and getting ready for the check ride, because we can do it in the simulator. So, and like I said, my check ride is already scheduled for April the 8th. Boom. So I know what's going to happen. So I don't regret how my training has played out, because I have had excellent flight instruction. And Vanessa and Keith, if you're watching this video, I want you guys both to know that you're just such amazing pilots. and absolute knock it out of the park instructors. I'm clear that you guys are going to be phenomenal professional pilots. I felt so comfortable with both of you, and I learned so much. And I am convinced, and I'm going to say this, and this is my recommendation, I am convinced that I am able to do this training. I'm getting ready to turn right to my next heading, because so I'm going to 234 because of the foundation that you guys have given me. I don't think, and I wouldn't suggest that people do accelerated training unless you're just one of those people who can absorb things quickly, because it's a lot, y'all. I mean, for real, it's a lot. 6 days, I don't know if I could have done it without previous training in 6 days. Now, here's the thing. IFR6 is smart. What they say is one of their prerequisites is you have to have at least 10 hours of instruction before you come to the program. Now, that's either, instruction, like I think, and I would suggest, I think you could probably do it in a simulator. I would suggest that you do it in an airplane, because you want to be able to, put the foggles on and just have a sense of what it's like to have to really dial in on your instruments. And so that would definitely be my suggestion, that you be mindful of doing some training and do it in an airplane, and do it with a flight instructor. Don't rush it, and start doing the ground school stuff, and start really reading through all of that stuff every day, because I'm telling you, y'all, it's a lot. And if you're green, if you're not really well versed in a lot of the stuff, I think it's just way too much to pack into 6 days. So that's my suggestion. But here's what I'm going to say. I think that IFR6 and accelerated programs are definitely created for people like me. You're working a full-time job. You still have some parental responsibilities. You got responsibilities. Your life is full and busy and chaotic and stressful. And you have this thing called aviation in your life. And you're trying to get ratings, and you're trying to do it in a part, was it part 91 or part 61? I always get those confused. But you're trying to do it in a a la carte type of way, and it's just not working, because you're just not doing it consistently enough where you're able to move towards a check ride. Now, Keith had me moving, for sure, but I'm competing for his time and attention. He has a full life. Dude, family man, professional pilot, sought after instructor. And so I'm only getting pieces of him in the finite time that I have. And it just, after a while, felt like it was hard to navigate that. And it's no fault of his. It just is what it is. But this accelerator program it's a snapshot in time. It is, we know specifically what and when and how and all of that kind of stuff. And so because of that, I am so much more dialed in. And so for that, I am, definitely just grateful. And so that's why this program works for me. And so if you are a professional that is trying to get another rating, be it your instrument rating, it may be your commercial, and it seems like it's just hard for you to figure out what the pathway is, just given all the stuff that is happening and how busy everything you are, all of that stuff, then I would highly suggest something like, an accelerated program under like IFR6. Because like I said, I already have peace of mind that as I fly out to North Carolina, you see there's more rain coming. and I'm getting ready to get to Chester County, which is my next waypoint, and then I'm going to start heading south proper. I feel good. I'm nervous because it's the unexpected, right? I mean, I'm nervous about the long days and, you know, new people and being away and all that kind of stuff. But I'm so excited just looking at the wing. Making sure we got no icing, baby. And if you see, nice and clear this way, definitely cloudy that way. And so luckily we're going to be turning away from that. So we're going to be heading south, which you can see out here is pretty clear. But I have clarity in terms of what's going to be happening. And for that, I am excited. And like I said, as I'm flying here on April Fool's Day, I already know when my check ride is going to happen, and that takes so much pressure off. What I'm going to do is, for now, so that you don't have to hear me continue to yak, I've done enough of that. I'll turn the cameras back on when we get close to, so my fuel stop is going to be Martin County Airport in North Carolina. I'm going to be there in about 2 hours and 41 minutes. And so as I get closer there, I'll turn on the cameras and come back to you so we can do that landing and I can show you that airport. We'll get some fuel and just kind of play it by ear in terms of, you know, taking off and what I do once I get there. Because I don't have to be in North Carolina or South Carolina. My check-in at my hotel is not until 3, so, and it is currently 9 o'clock on this day of our Lord.
5 to the north.
So that's what I'll do. So I will see you guys when I come back, and thank you for flying with me. See you as we get ready to land in North Carolina. All right, see you in a few. All right, welcome back. So I am currently flying over the Chesapeake Bay, and as you can see, I got the Bay Bridge off to my right, my left here. I'll take some pictures, and so you can see what I'm seeing if I can get this camera to act right. And if this camera can pick this up, maybe not. But yeah, Bay Bridge is off to my left here, and I can see like where you see bunch of bridge, and then nothing. So that must be where it goes down under. So we are 94 nautical miles out from my destination. If you look down here, I'm plenty within glide ratio. So I can actually almost make it to the actual airport. But yeah, you can see here, off to my right here is Norfolk. What is this? Norfolk International right off here. And then there's another little airport. So at any rate, it has been a great flight. I let Carol do a lot of the flying, and if folks don't know, Carol is my autopilot in Charlie. And so I figured I'm going to be doing plenty of flying, so I don't have to worry about not doing enough hand flying, but especially since I wanted to get some pictures around here. And so you might be saying like, well, what do you do when you were doing that flying? Because it was like a 2 hour and 40 minute flight down here to North Carolina. And you say, well, what do you do? Well, just like when you're in a car. I turn on my music, my headset Bluetooth, and I'm good to go. I'm glad I was able to use this visor too, because the sun was banging. Rosin visor sort of win. All right, so I got to get ready to do my thing here. So I thank you so much for flying with me. We still got some flying to do. This is the first rest stop. And I will say that Charlie is capable of, I think, 4-5 hours. I am not. You know, I definitely, about 3.5 is probably my limit. Now, if I had to stretch it for 4, I would do 4 the first leg, right? And then after that, shorter legs. But this is the longest I've flown in quite a while. And so it is definitely time. It's been almost, you know, it's like 2 hours and 45 minutes or so. And so I'm definitely ready to land and take a break. But that's the beauty of general aviation. I can keep going if I feel great, or I can land if I don't. I can't believe it, y'all. I flew to North Carolina. I'm flying over North Carolina. So I'm pretty sure I'm just going to be able to go straight in because I don't hear anybody calling Hamilton County.
Yeah, Williamston.
And hopefully this is one of those, or Martin County. And I hope this is one of those things where it's like some different name and I'm just not hearing it. But I'll be paying attention to traffic as well, which I don't see around there. But yeah, no, we are almost there. So I'm just trying to make out the field. I think it's right there in front of me. I'm like literally like, you see these little spots here? I literally think I see the airport. Martin County traffic, Cherokee 1541 Charlie 10 northeast of the field, inbound for a straight in, runway 21, Martin County traffic. Yeah, that's it. Alright, so it's basically off my 10 o'clock here. But that was the thing, I was like, you know what? When in doubt, use your instruments. So I'm like, I'm gonna do an approach using a visual.
Alright, so you know it's been a great flight, but it's time to get on the ground. You know the drill. Cue the music!
Butter.
All right, so welcome to North Carolina. So I think what I'm going to do is come over here and get some gas first, and then I'm going to pull her over here and then see what's up with that van over there, because I think that is the crew car. So I'll see. But yeah, this is so awesome, and can't believe I'm down here in North Carolina. So crazy. So anyway, I'm not gonna be able to do this fueling thing, you know, with one hand. So let me get to this and then we'll see what's going on over there. Okay, so I managed to pull Charlie over here and got some fuel. Now I'm gonna go over here, at least go to the bathroom, but I want to see if I can actually get in that van. That would be amazing. So let's go over here and see what we got. Okay, so I'm in the FBO, and this is just so cool. These are the things I love about general aviation. Just awesome. So a little sink, refrigerator, you know, even got a little what you call it, cornhole that you can use to play some cornhole. So I'm gonna just go to the bathroom and do some stuff, and yeah, I'm gonna see where I am in relation to stuff. So I might see if I can't get an Uber. So let's see what's going on with that. This is so much fun. So the journey continues. There is a courtesy van, and the key was here, and yeah, crazy. So yeah, it's we got a courtesy van, y'all. This is beyond awesome. I mean, you can't, I don't care what you talk about commercial, those lay down beds and all this kind of stuff. When do you get into like a vintage van and just go have lunch? Come on. This is just ridiculously awesome. So going to this place called the Tipsy Pilot, and yeah, I'm gonna keep it close. But yeah, go get some lunch. So I am going to go ahead and concentrate on driving. And look at this road, y'all. I mean, is this wild or what? This is crazy. City boy out in the country, North Kakalaka. What you talking about? All right, let me finish driving. All right, I'm out. Can you believe this? This is crazy. All right, let me keep driving. Okay, so I managed to drive myself to this place called Tipsy Pallet. About 5 miles away. So here's what's on the menu. Got myself some fried whiting. Of course, got to put some hot sauce on there. Got some asparagus and some candied yams. So I'm about to dig in so I can get my grub on because I'm starving. And then back to the airport. This has been fantastic. Hey, back in the day, my mom used to call something called a happy plate. And the happy plate looks like this. That's a happy plate. Plate is empty and I'm happy. So as I make my way back to the airport, I know this video is getting kind of long. So I just wanted to show some more of the scenery. And what I'm going to do is basically when I'm flying from North Carolina to Charleston, South Carolina, what I think I'm going to do is just do a little bit of pre-cockpit in North Carolina and then onto the approach and landing into Charleston, and you know, getting ready for IFR6 next week, and I'm gonna take you on the entire week with me. All right, so let's get back to it. Okay, so that's it. Let's go on over to Charlie. Let's pre-flight and let's get on out of here.
All right, so I did my run up. I'm holding short of runway 21, getting ready to take off, and definitely didn't want to get distracted. So let's close this door. Woo-wee, it's hot, y'all, it's hot. All right, pre-takeoff, flaps are up, mixture is full rich, fuel pump is gonna come on, landing light's gonna come on, anti-collision is on, and let's see, doors and windows are locked, and transponder where it needs to be. I don't hear anybody calling on the field, and nobody's calling on final, nobody's on the field. All right, let's get out of here. Martin County traffic, Cherokee 1541 Charlie, departing runway 21 out to the southwest, Martin County. All right, I see 21 on the field, 21, 21. All right, heels to the floor, full power. All right, engine instruments in the green, oil temp, oil pressure, fuel pressure, all look good. Airspeed is alive. She's gonna pop up pretty quick because we are right into a nice stiff headwind. It is sporty. It is definitely sporty. But we are on our way to South Carolina. 2 hours and 2 minutes to Charleston, South Carolina, where I'll be for a week. Believe it or not, crazy. I think that's right off my 10 o'clock here. Yep, nice long runway. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and turn the cameras off again. We got another hour and 40 minutes. So I'll see you on the other side of when I get somewhat closer. Maybe when I'm in, let me see, how far am I away? 198. And when I get close, maybe like 50 nautical miles, I'll come on back over. All right, see you in a few. Okay, I'm back. And we are about 76 nautical miles out, be on the ground.
Over 3-1, Shaw's request.
Basically a half an hour. And I'm going through over top of some clouds here. And so I'm gonna be
6640 approach, thank you. Altimeter 3023, direct Bevet, initial vectors for the visual approach.
Going through the Gamecock Gamecock MOA, Gamecock Bravo specifically. All right, so I'm probably gonna need to descend pretty soon because definitely getting a little cloudy. I can get up underneath this stuff for sure. And I'm definitely seeing a little bit more of a build-up. And approach November 1541 Charlie. I'd like to descend down to 4,500 for clouds.
Number 41 Charlie, VFR out to your discretion.
Altitude, my discretion, 41 Charlie. Alright, yeah, because I'm going to go down here. Let's go down. Yeah, I'm ready to go down. As you can see out there in front, it's starting to get built up, but I'm going to go underneath this stuff. Alright, information kilo. And then ground is 121. 121.9. And I've already got tower 126. 200 to go.
November 1541 Charlie, contact Charleston approach 121.27, 2127. Have a good day.
2127, thank you for your help, 41 Charlie.
My pleasure.
Charleston approach, November 1541 Charlie, 4500, information kilo, full stop at Charleston.
Number 1541 Charlie, Charleston approach, number 3021, plan runway 21.
3021 and expect runway 21, 41 Charlie. And I'm expecting runway 21. Wait, and as you can see, it is really raggedy. And I'm just looking to see if I can find airport, Charleston.
Number 41 at Charlie, just advise prior to any changes in altitude for traffic.
Roger that for 41 Charlie.
Number 41 Charlie, VFR descent at your discretion.
Altitude, my discretion, 41 Charlie.
Direct to
I am really, so where is, okay, so I see the lake. It should be right off my nose. Now, as you can see, I'm looking out there. I see these little fires. I don't know if you can see these. Like, I don't know what these little fires are, but I see there's like a river. So as soon as these rivers come up, 200 to 35, I should be able to see this airport.
Number 41 Charlie, turn left heading 210, maintain VFR at or below 2000.
Left 210, maintain VFR at or below 2000, 41 Charlie. Alright, you can see I'm kind of fighting here, but I want to make sure I'm on this heading 210, and I'm going down to 2000. There's a lot of traffic around here. They don't have an airport in sight, but...
Number 41 Charlie, turn right heading 260.
Right, 260, 41 Charlie. He's vectoring me in, thank the Lord. He's moving me around some traffic. I think I see the runway. Yep. And approach November 1541 Charlie has the airport in sight.
Number 41 Charlie, you can proceed straight in runway 21.
Proceed straight in runway 21, 41 Charlie. Alright, I got the runway in sight right off front here. So taxi lane light's coming on, fuel pump is coming on, mixture is full rich.
Number 41 Charlie, tower 126.0.
12640, thank you for your help, 41 Charlie. Charleston Tower, Cherokee 1541 Charlie, 6 mile final, runway 21.
Cherokee 1541 Charlie, Charleston Tower, wind 2009er, runway 21, clear to land.
Runway 21, clear to land, 41 Charlie. Alright, so we're coming on in nicely. We'll try to pick up this glide slope. I'm a little high. You can see the runway is right in front of me there. We got plenty of runway, so I'm not too worried about it. Wow, lots of military aircraft, all that good stuff. This is a big airport. Well, it's a Class Charlie.
So as I come into a landing in the Charleston International Airport, I think about the fact that this is only the, I think, third Class Charlie airport that I've landed in, the second by myself, and that I'm landing here to stay here for a week of intense instrument rating training, and if all goes well, I will leave here as an instrument rated pilot. Crazy!
All right, so here we are.
5531.
Good thing I could see it. So taxiing on over to Gulf, and then we're going over to Atlantic. It's interesting to come to a Class Charlie like this and see all of these different signs and airplanes and all kinds of stuff. It's just kind of crazy.
So as I make this turn to pull up, I really can't believe I'm here. I am in Charleston, South Carolina, and I flew myself here, and I am about to embark upon a training like I've never done before.
You can actually walk in the finger on the end, and they're going to be the third door from the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
On the door.
Okay.
All right.
All right, cool. Thank you, brother.
You're welcome.
All right, so I'm here. Got Charlie parked over there. Get ready to go over to Atlantic and check in. And yeah, it's been amazing. It's beautiful out here. Definitely a lot better weather than I had when I was in Philadelphia. So gonna go over here, check in, and then I gotta go over here, and they're over there, like IFR6 is over there. So we'll get that business straightened out, but let me go ahead and go check in, and we'll get that business sorted and then try to get over to the hotel. All right, so I'm all checked in. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over to the IFR6 people, just let them know I checked in, and then find my way over. Look at that hanger. That hanger's sweet. Hold on, check this out. Look at that, look at that, look at that. Anyway, so I'm gonna go over and check out over here, and then find my way to the hotel. So let me walk on over here. And I mean, man, this has been quite the adventure. And it continues because I got to get to the hotel. So I'm going to go over here first, check in with them, IFR6 people, then come back, get all my stuff out of the airplane, and then get over to the airport. There's some incredible stuff over here. So, like, you know, Pilatus, King Air, a couple King Airs. So, yeah. All right. See you in a bit. Okay, so here I am. I'm in my room, and you can see I've already disaster of equipment, you know, all over the place. But yeah, so you know, here's what it looks like outside. So I'm at the Drury Inn, and you know you're in the South or the West when you see Waffle House. But yeah, no, it was a great day. I actually just talked to the flight instructor. I had to take a picture of my written exam so he could see the questions that I got wrong. And so I'm going to be meeting with him 9 a.m. tomorrow, and it is on and popping. And I can't tell you, you know, how excited I am. I'm kind of tired. That's the furthest I've flown. Can't believe I actually flew myself to South Carolina, y'all. But at any rate, I am going to, I think, do a little something every day for the subsequent upload Fridays. Or maybe, I don't know, I'll figure it out, but I'm definitely gonna try to go through each experience. And I won't necessarily, I might bring the camera with me. I don't know, I have to figure that out, because I want you to get a feel for what it's like to do this experience. So definitely going to figure that out, but definitely wanted to show this first part of getting down here, getting to the airport, checking in, and day one starts tomorrow. So I'm going to go get myself some food, call it a day, and try to upload this footage, because one of the things I'm going to have to do is be on top of getting the footage off of these cameras, because the cards only have but so much. So at any rate, that's it. Thank you for flying with me. Great day. I'm exhausted, but man, general aviation all day. I'm sorry. I love this. I love this life. Thank you, Lord, for putting it before me. So with that, Russ can fly. I'll see you guys next week. We'll go through day one of IFR6. I'm out. Take care. Thank you for your support. Peace.